To quote my wife, "We are here today because of the convergence of miraculous miracles." When we were first introduced to Hennepin's care, you might say, was through my daughter Molly.
I agreed to see her, and she'd been working for years trying to help herself feel better. There was dizziness, there was tachycardia, which worsened when she stood up. There was all kinds of food allergies.
By this time, she had chronic, widespread pain all over her body. For Molly's appointments, Tim and I would both try to be there.
Dr. Parker listened and was very attentive as to what things were going on, and she turned us in a different direction, you might say.
Because this is a young woman that I'm kind of having to be the center of the wheel, but she needs experts in all these areas, really. The most helpful therapy probably to Molly has been having people put their hands on her. She knows that getting an acupuncture treatment helps with her symptoms, getting chiropractic care.
I think it's great that we found somebody here at Hennepin who's willing to sort of cross those lines and borders and keep things together for us. A little over 2 years ago that I was going to my routine eye exam.
Saw something going on in his eye, sent him to a specialist.
So I go into the specialist, and the specialist says the same thing to me, that there's a shadow. And he was a little bit more blunt, and he said there's a tumor.
Specialist diagnosed ocular melanoma.
Then it was like, a steamroller. Immediately was scheduled for surgery.
And Dr. Parker helped with the follow-up visits with that, making sure that it was not metastasizing and that kind of thing.
That I was now a cancer survivor.
On our way back, we were traveling, going northbound to the cities.
Then all of a sudden, Laura said, "I don't think they're stopping."
I remember needing to pull the wheel to the right to try to minimize the impact.
But we spun, and I remember part of that. We flipped as we stopped in silence, and I called out. And she didn't answer. I knew that, her airway was compromised a bit. What I did about opening the airway was effective, and she started breathing again. Laura identified me as a paramedic that worked at Hennepin County. I kind of had a feeling of relief, I think, when I knew that LifeLink was coming.
Tim went by ground. I don't remember the impact, and I don't remember the fact that we rolled.
They were alive, and we all just had this moment of, wow, you must have good angels. You're alive, you're here, and ready to go. So, all right, get me a plan.
But the care and the interest that's there by the people that we see is, to me, phenomenal.
So I had a mild traumatic brain injury. They discovered that there was nothing broken, there's just a lot of soft tissue stuff.
Biggest assets of our department working together is the cohesiveness. In the group, we have 3 different disciplines, from chiropractic to physical therapy to acupuncture.
It's a team effort that's being focused on, and how does the treatment of one practitioner affect the other practitioner, and that's only by good communications that they're able to do that.
There's a real empathy there. It's very, very validating to have a practitioner say, well, you tell me, and then they go from there.
When we're in the room with the patient, it really is all about them.
When you feel like you're validated by being listened to, I think it helps the healing that much more.
Nice.
Here was so much focus on Molly over the years, and now all of a sudden this young woman who has enough medical needs of her own becomes the caretaker of her parents.
It's a struggle to get through the day, and it's very fatiguing. It is a roller coaster ride.
It's never just the patient in the room with you. It's their past, it's their employment, it's their relatives, that there's always much more that comprises the patient than the person that's sitting right there in the room with you.
They were willing to allow us to continue this kind of family-centered care that we were wanting to practice. It was really a convergence of miracles coming together at once, it felt like.